Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome back to another video, everyone, and today we'll be learning and practicing sukoons, which come out all throughout the Quran, and we will be learning about them today. Now, before we learn anything, we must recite أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. We should always recite this before reading the Quran, and it's always good to do it. And it's also said at the start of surahs, but we can talk about that later when we've finished everything. So, just a disclaimer, this is not the Quran what I am showing you here. This is a qaida, and this is to help people learn the Quran and the rules of it. So let's begin sukoons. So here we look at the first letter, well, set of letters. Here it is, here we have an alif and a hamza. We pronounce this as a. Now, with sukoons, which is this right there, we do not say as a zebra, ze, or pesh, because it is none of those. It is a sukoon, more like a connective. So, now, to make it more sense, let's move further down, which is down here. Here we have these, right? So, we have a alif and a ayn. So, how we pronounce this, because it's got a sukoon at the top, it would be ar, 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 ar. Now, when I'm saying it, you can still hear the ayn, but we do not make it go any further than that. No zabar, ze, or pesh. Ar, ar, ar. Yeah, you can still hear it. Then we cut it off right at the start before we can get any further. Ar. Because like I said, it's a connective, but it doesn't go any further. Now let's continue. Over here, we have al, al, al. Il, il, il. Let's move down. Here we have a kaf and an alif. Ak, ak. See, quite simple. And here we have the noons. So here we have an. Here we have in. And here we have un. Now, let's move on to the next part, which is qalqala. So, as we can see over here, we have a qaf. But I need to tell you something before we go into anything. So, let's just make a box over here to make it easier to understand. So, in this blue box over here, as you can see, we have all the qalqala letters. So, what we have is a qaf. We also have a ta. We also have a ba. We also have a jim. And we also have a dal. Now, as you can see, they all have sukoons, which are these. Remember, that's a sukoon. Now, these are all the qalqala letters. Qaf, ta, bal, jim, dal. Now, with these letters, these are pronounced slightly differently than the other ones. So it wouldn't be not because these are qalqala letters. There's a slight echo when used with the sukoon and connected to another letter like an alif. So it would be aq. Now, as you can hear the echo in my throat or my voice, aq. Now let's move on to the next one. Ato, ato, ato. That's a ta. Now we are moving on to the ba one. Ab, ab, ab. Now let's move on to the jim one, which is over here. Aj, aj, aj. Remembering the echo. And here, well, over here, we have the dal. Ad, ad, ad. Here we have the id, id. Now, let's move on further down where we will also move on to another part. So remember, these are the qalqala letters. If you want to take a screenshot, we have the qaf, we also have the ta, we also have the ba, and we also have the jim and the dal. So let's move further down. Now, next part we'll be learning about med letters. The med letters are alif, ya, and waw. Now, in order for them to be a stretch like the med, so for alif, in order for it to be a stretch, it must have the zabar or fatha, whichever way you call it. And if it does, then it will be followed by an alif either connected onto it over here like this, or on its own for certain letters. Now, because they meet the requirements and have this zabar at the top there, it would be, we would pronounce this two haraka. Remember, two haraka. Next part, and this one has it connected to it. Now, some letters, like I said before, have it connected or either on its own or separated, like that. So here we have ha, because it's got the alif med. Well, not alif med, it's the alif med letter. Now let's move on to the next med letter, which is ya. Now, in order for it, just like the alif one, because it needed a fatha for it to be a med, this one needs a kisra to be a med with the ya. So, or kisra or zir, however you want to call it, it would be e, qi, qi. Now, just like the alif, some are connected and some are separated. Now, let's move on to the waw one. Now, the waw one needs a pesh in order for it to be the med. Now, it needs the pesh because it's the waw one. Remember, the alif med needs the zabar or fatha, and the ya med needs the zay or kisra. Now, this one, the waw med letter, needs the pesh in order for it to be a med. So here we'd pronounce this as oo, hu, ru, hu, ru. Now let's move on further down here where we will use everything that we've learnt basically. So this box. Here we have qalu. Now remember the qaf here, it has the alif med letter or with it. So it'd be qalu, qalu. And remember, because alif right here can also be a med because it's after, it's just slightly longer as well. Qalu. Now next we'll be looking at this one. Rasulihi, rasulihi, rasulihi. Remember, I am stretching this one slightly a bit more, and also this one because it has the med here. Now let's move on to down this one. Now this one, so here we have the معرضون. ذو. Remember this has the waw with the dad, with the pesh and the sukoon. معرضون. Sorry, معرضون. معرضون. قلوبهم. Remember this one also has the waw mad letter with it. قلوبهم. 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 I hope you guys have enjoyed this video where we have learnt the mad letters, sukoons and qalqala. Next, I hope to see you in the next video, inshallah. Allah Hafiz.